You can find a bit of everything on Tinder, but one little swipe can change your life.
Snacks! Y'all, for this video, get your notebook, pen, pencil. This is one of the videos that you're gonna have to come back to and rewatch. That's how crazy this video is gonna get. And I'm not about to exaggerate when I'm about to say this. One of you is going to experience this. As horrible as that sounds. Now, it may not turn into a murder, but if you're on a dating app, it's a high possibility that you're going to experience something creepy like this. Now, if some of you seen this case, the thing about when I tell a case is I explain it different from everybody else. Why? Because I give the signs. What happened to this girl is she missed the signs and it caused her life. So out of all the YouTubers out there, I give the most protection. Trust me. I'm ready for y'all to see this video. Without further ado, y'all already know what I'm about to say. Go get your snacks.
I just started off in your world.
A girl named Grace was swiping online, meeting somebody on Tinder. This turned deadly. Sometimes people end up missing.
Serial killer. It sounds like something out of a movie, and now it really is.
Today's world, everything is technology. You want to meet and talk to people online because it's very easy. That person is attractive. So you build this connection with them online, trusting each other, right?
I already gave up the dating apps, but just let this be a warning to everyone out there who's still on them. Don't trust anybody.
1 in 10 dating app users have had their drinks spiked.
While he's mixing that drink, he goes to his pocket, appears to pour something from a container into the glass.
I just got back from a date and I'm walking home right now. He drove me there and he was really creepy and being really just pressuring me to go home with him, and he wouldn't drive me home, so I have to walk home now. And I don't feel safe because since he picked me up, he knows my address and my house.
And so you meet up eventually. Grace was swiping on Tinder and she met this guy named Jesse. Nah, that song came to mind as soon as I heard that name. But this is serious though, because when she met Jesse, they started talking. Towards the middle of the conversation, Grace was like, haha, no, so where will we go? Because they discussing on what their first date should be like. Well, I know a cool Mexican place up near Sky City that does great cocktails. Okay, no to the Mexican, but maybe to the cocktails. Grace, Mexican is good, you trip. Okay, there's a few places up there that do great cocktails. How about we meet at Sky City? I haven't said yes yet. You haven't said no either. So what's it gonna take to make this happen then? So it's date night. They meet at this place, and the good thing about this, when you meet a stranger, I always say meet in public. She met him in public, they seen each other and they hugged. They walked inside the building and they was having a good time on this date. They was looking at the menus, they was enjoying their time, and she even texted one of her friends and she said she was having a great time on this date and everything was going great. But the next day happened and it was Grace's birthday. And you know, everybody was excited to see Grace and everybody was spamming her happy birthday in the text messages on social media, but no answer from Grace. And you have more people that keep texting her because there are some people who worried and they know that they went on this date and they never heard from her again, but no sign of Grace. And time went by and they reported her missing.
Dating profiles that could lure you into a dangerous trap.
Not only that, what was very fishy about this was the whole thing is she carried 2 phones. So if one didn't work or one had an issue, she had a backup that people can contact, but nothing from both of those phones. Matter of fact, December 2nd, the day she went missing, it was going straight to voicemail. It wasn't even ringing. Didn't know it was little 3 days that went by. That's when they decided to file her missing because none of her phones are picking up. So now we gotta take it all the way back to the day she went missing and she met up with this stranger named Jesse. When she left her hostel before she met Jesse, she left at 5:37 p.m. Then she met him at Sky City because they was talking about that in the text messages, and then they went to this Mexican cafe and they drank a couple of more drinks. Now if you didn't catch it yet, the reason why she decided to go to another bar with him, the Mexican cafe, is because they're hitting it off. They're having a good time. He's playing all his cards right, and to her it's just a good date. She don't know how crazy he is.
Only 8 months before he another British tourist who he met on the Tinder dating app.
She don't know what's about to happen in her life after this. And she don't know because she met this guy, it's no way out of it, no matter what she do. And you will see why. So then they decide to go to another bar because they having such a great time. So they went to this bar called the Bluestone Room, and you could see them kissing. That's how much of a good time they having until she went to the bathroom because she had to go to the ladies' restroom. This is where it's about to completely turn. When she comes back from the bar, she messaged her friend that she was having a great time. Then they left. He got her to go to his apartment. The sexual energy was high. They was kissing, having a great time. So it was very easy. And you can see them going into the apartment, going to the elevator, going up to his place. And Grace follows behind him out of the elevator. She's never seen again. Gone. The next morning, you can see Jesse. He's by himself. No Grace. He goes inside of this elevator and he heads to the store. He buys a lot of cleaning supplies along with a suitcase. He brings all of this equipment to his apartment place and left and Ubered to another car place to rent out a car. Here's where it's all crazy. Grace is in the apartment, right? Because we don't know what happened to Grace. He went on another bar date with a different female. But look what was crazy on that date. This is the third video in a row how I was speaking on women and they gut feeling. She was on a date with him and they was conversating, and in her gut she felt really uncomfortable with this man because she could just feel a vibe from him. Whatever went on with him and Grace that night was crazy. It all took a turn once he said he know a great spot to hide bodies. After that, she was like, in the most nicely calmest way, yeah, I would like to leave. Yeah, I would like to leave. When he headed back to his apartment, he asked to borrow carpet steam cleaning machine, meaning if something is very stained in the carpet, you need this machine to get every little detail off the carpet off. Now at this point, we automatically know and we could assume that he murdered her and she was leaking all over the carpet, so he want to get this cleaning supplies to clean it all up. Then he leaves his room again. He goes back down and he gets a luggage cart. He brings the luggage cart inside of the elevator. He leaves the place with these 2 suitcases along with the luggage cart. As you can see, he's dragging it out. The next morning, they show him going inside of this store. It was a store that sell tools, supplies, home supplies, and he purchased a shovel. Went to his apartment, came out his apartment, stormed to some trash cans, was tossing out some items, probably that belonged to Grace, some personal items, probably her phone. Then he went to this other place to clean some clothes, and then that's when the police, you can see on his CCTV footage that they was looking for him because they wanted to ask him a few questions about Grace, the girl who's missing. If this ain't suspicious, I don't know what is. So he was walking back to his place and he sees the cops. So he stops, he's trying to playing it off, act all cool, not trying to panic. He turns around slowly. You don't want to run because he don't want to make himself suspicious. And he walks off. Little do he know, the cops know that that's him. So when he walks some feet and some feet and some feet, the police is coming right behind him to hunt him down because they need to talk to this guy. So they decided to investigate the room. Even though he thought he cleaned the place up really well, the police noticed, they seen that there was a lot. You can't see it with the eye, but with the technology and the objects they have, you can see it. They use something called luminol and you can see footsteps. That's how detailed this gets. So Ras, if he murdered her, what led up to it and why did this happen?
Tell me what happened last Saturday.
She started talking to me about 50 Shades of Grey. We started having sex. At first it was just normal, and then she asked me if we could get into bondage, and then she told me to hold her throat.
They interviewed him again.
They said that Jesse had simply panicked and attempted to hide Grace's body after he realised the sexual encounter had accidentally taken her life.
So that night when Grace was in that room with him, to make this long story short, he ended up strangling her and that's how she died. And then when he put her in a suitcase, investigators and police, they ended up finding his suitcase dug up. Of course, Grace's body was in this suitcase. Now this guy has life in prison. 2 more other females came out because they were so creeped out by him. And they said, yeah, we have been assaulted by him as well. The thing about me though, when I see something, is that he was in a whole nother headspace. She wasn't. She seen it as having fun, meeting a man that she can have a good time with. But honestly, it's some men that I can look at and I could just look at them and know something not right about you. You off. And I can look at him and I can know that. Some people just play it off so good though you can't tell. Remember, the more drinks that they order you, the better they can manipulate you.
I should preface by saying the first time that we went out, he ordered me like so many drinks and I just like was really drunk, and I remembered having like not an amazing time but also not a bad time either.
But we got along really well. He was super funny, really cute. We just had so much in common.
Oh, like, hi, and he's like, good to see you again. And like, he just kind of had this like, I don't even know how to explain it. Like, he was like, had like a dead stare like this. Like, I was getting really creepy vibes.
What do you want? What do you want? Why are you following me? What do you want?
A couple hours after that happened, I rewatched the clip and I was like, hold up. I think I matched with that guy on Bumble.
Bumble is the first dating app that I have used.
If you ever match with a woman and you see her in the wild, do not follow her through dark city streets.
No, there's nothing you can tell me that I want to hear, so please leave me alone. Don't follow women like that. Creepy. It's weird. Dating profiles that could lure you into a dangerous trap. Aaron Black showed up for a date. Instead, he was held up at gunpoint.
As I was turning around, I had a gentleman running up on me with a gun drawn.
It's just certain signs you gotta pay attention to, or else.
It's a playground for narcissistic, sociopathic, psychopathic men preying on innocent women.
So let's just say you on a date with this person for the first time, and what would be the traits or the signs that they would want to murder you? Trait number 1, they do not like animals. Do you see how cute that thing is? How can you not like it? Murderer.
2 boys being charged with killing a much-loved family cat.
As we know, that's why people murder animals first before they get to humans.
In disguise, grabbing the 17-year-old Ginger and running off with her down the street.
But some people skip the animal process and go straight to humans. If they don't like animals, it's a chance that the person you on that date with is a murderer or might murder you. People who's obsessed with their self.
Are you a narcissist?
This man right here, who is he? Ian Stewart. He's a narcissist. So if they're really extremely obsessed with themselves, they talk about themselves a lot and in third person, almost to the point to where they would say their names out loud during sex. Stay away from these people. He murdered his wife and fooled everyone. Jokes. Wait, before we get any deeper into this one, I'ma just say this, I have a real dark sense of humor. Like, I laugh at some very, very dark stuff. But here's what I mean by jokes. Remember how Jesse was joking about how he know a spot with dead bodies? He was saying it in a joking way. Or they may be like, would it be fun to dig up a grave one day? Like, jokes that's not really funny. They're being serious, but they're saying it in a joking way.
We're laying in the bed and I'm just making casual conversation with him because what else am I gonna do? I like to ask people like, oh, what are your flaws? No, like, emotional whatever. He goes, oh, I can kill people.
Another example. If I had a and I put it in a freezer, would my house smell bad? That was an obvious example, but I'm just giving you examples of jokes like these. People like this. Run!
After that, I blocked him.
Now I could get real deep into this if I really wanted to, like how to know if you're in a relationship and someone wants to murder you. Now these things do not happen as often, but they happen a lot, which almost kind of make it often at this point, because 2023 is getting crazy. This was not in 2023, but it's still getting crazy in 2023. But I will leave you with this. There is a lot of off signs when it was on this date. Grace, poor innocent Grace, couldn't tell because he was taking her to bar after bar after bar while having a lovely time, while making her drink it up, so she couldn't see all the signs. What am I saying here? See, y'all not about to like what I'm about to say at all. Don't drink on the first date. Why is you trying to get drunk with a stranger? Why? At least wait to the second date. Or if you're gonna drink, just know what? Don't drink on the first date. Just don't do it. If you do, just look at this guy. Literally look at the guy that you're in front of. And if he deeply looks like a creep, because some people you can just look at them and tell. But sometimes it's a lot of handsome men and they can get in the way.
But we got along really well. He was super funny, really cute.
Now here's the scariest part about this whole thing. Serial killers naturally carry this attractive trait.
Do you understand the infatuation that women have for serial killers?
Oh, you mean like when people are like in love with serial killers?
Like women, for some reason, fall in love with serial killers. There's some weird psychological thing about
Yeah,
it.
that's like weird. I don't get it.
It's craziness to have any attraction to it, but yet it exists. You know, this guy has like groupies and fans.
And it's very common for murderers to get, especially very strange.
Super strange.
A lot. Like millions of women are attracted to serial killers. It usually really start around the ages of 29 up. That's what studies have shown.
There are many who would look at Richard Ramirez in the eye and say, he is the face of evil. And yet you look at him and you see the man of your dreams. Who needs glasses here?
I can't help the way the world looks at him. They don't know him the way I do.
The same man is suspected in 6 to 8 murders and 25 to 30 attacks.
And the next day, Doreen walked down the aisle. Here's the couple.
But see, now things have changed. The age done dropped. Now younger are starting to get attractive to these murderers. I decided to go on TikTok and type in handsome serial killers. And people would do these edits, and in the comments, there are girls like, I would let him kidnap me. And they all saying how fine he is. And it's just girls after girls after girls that just want these people, even though they own kind. Females is getting murdered by these type of people, sometimes tortured. With that being said, good night, and I love y'all.